everybody. This is Dr. Kaveh Lahyun coming to you guys all live again with another fantastic interview with Dr. Otto Janke. We are amazingly honored to have this guy on. Dr. Janke, just give us the introduction, sir, and we will dive right into it.
I'm in America. That's about all we got to say.
How long have you been in practice?
A very, very quick 27 years. And practice has changed dramatically because people have changed dramatically.
Definitely, definitely.
Oh.
Now, we here at Wellness Influencers, we like to bring information about all sorts of wellness when it comes to mind, body, soul. And I noticed something on your content that you put out. You're talking about adding years to your life and life to your years.
Absolutely.
So how do you do that?
Well, so first of all, one of the first things we have to do is we have to start looking at what's not great about you before we can start building what is great about you. So a very, very simple thing we do in our office, I wouldn't say it's simple because it's not simple. It's extremely high tech, but we have to decipher what your nervous system looks like. If we are going to put great foods into your body, we have to make sure that your body can handle having great foods. I know it sounds almost contradictory, but we can't put rocket fuel into a car that won't go because it's useless. It doesn't work. So we have to make sure that when we put the great fuel in, the body can do that. When we get the body into motion, which we all got to be doing motion, we got to daily. But if your body says, listen, I'm unable to do these things, trying to do it doesn't work. So we start with a foundation. The foundation we call the pyramid of health here. The pyramid of health, the bottom layer, the foundation is a nervous system which is optimized. Not good, not feeling okay, but is optimized. And so we measure that initially right away. We find out what's not great about that because when you put in that rocket fuel, when you get the motion going, and then we talk about the mindfulness, be it meditation, prayer, or reading, or journaling, or walks in nature, all those things function better. We do know one of the scariest things that's happened now in America is that for the third year in a row, our life expectancy has gone down for the third year in a row. You can say 1 year, well, 1 year, I can understand that. Maybe it's a blip. It's 3 years. Kaveh, this is the canary in the coal mine that our system does not work and that we need to change things. There is no healthcare system that's going to save you. There is no white knight coming. No one's going to frickin' save you. We got to show you how to get you great. And we start right here.
Amazing. And I know you're great and amazingly gracious about longevity. It's one of those things that keeps you going and keeps your fire lit. Give us some little details about longevity and how do you see it?
Absolutely. We no longer talk about how good you can be. We talk about your next best decades. Because when we get you thinking about your next best decades, it's different than about getting out of pain. We see people in my practice who are in aches and pains. Happens all the time. But once we get past that, how can I help you? How can I help you to start adding great years on, your next best decades? We need to start talking about that because our healthcare system does not talk about that. There is a term we use here is called anticipated pathologies. Anticipated pathologies. Our healthcare system anticipates you will fail because you're going to do nothing, and you're going to fail, and they're going to watch you decay and get unhealthier. They've got money bet on you that you're going to get unhealthier. They've got billions of dollars put into this that you're going to get unhealthier. We have to change the system. Here's this. Latest article, report that millennials are already anticipated to be an unhealthy generation. They're They're in their 20s, man. They're in their 20s. This is a sin that can't be happening. To add that on top of seniors who are on the most medicated generation we've had. We cannot be talking about a healthcare system which is watching the house fully engulfed in flames, and then putting the fire out and knocking down the house. No. How about we have a house that doesn't catch fire? Or if it does catch fire, we know how to put the fire out right away, and then build the house to be better. We need to change the whole parameter of what we're talking about into talking about your next best years. When we start doing that, we have opened up your whole mind space of what you can do, how you can do that, and we're going to be kicking ass for the next number of decades.
Fantastic. Now, Dr. Otto, some of the topics in which you, I'm sure in 26, 27 years of practice have come across, what are the most common fails that us as patients and people do that causes the decay, degeneration, and basically cause the body to come out of regulation and come out of that so-called homeostasis?
So let's get out of homeostasis and talk about homeodynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And homeostasis it's an idea, but it's conception of that you're going to have one best body temperature. And it's idiotic to think that, because your body's always fluctuating. And that's the key right there. Your body has always got to be fluctuating. Your body weight's never the same. Your body temperature, the number of white blood cells you have in your body are circulating, are going to go up and down depending on your need. But the key thing is in America is we have become susceptible. We have allowed ourselves to fall asleep at the wheel of our own car. And what that is this. We believe that we can eat anything that's in the grocery store, that we don't have to move anymore, that we don't have to give thanks for what we do. We don't have to somehow take care of this wonderful machine that's called the human body. It is an incredible machine. Get this one thing. A cell from one person meets a cell from another person. 1 + 1 = 1, then becomes 4 trillion, which is a human baby. That's freaking nuts, man. That's nuts. That's incredible. And you never have to read a book to be able to do. Well, you can read a book to redo that, I guess. I don't know, but you don't have to read a book to get the baby to grow. What we have done in America, how have we gotten away from that? Is we've gotten away from the simplicity of health, the simplicity of longevity. We've gotten away from that, which is you're going to eat plants, eat what Mother Nature gave you. We're going to move on a regular basis. We're going to make sure we get our great sleep. We're going to make sure our nervous system is all finely tuned, and we're going to be able to set a plan this way. Here's a crazy thing. I just did a talk for 2 hours this morning. It's anticipated now in America that you're going to need almost $300,000 for set aside in your health, in your retirement monies, set aside specifically for your health care. If I could teach you how to double or triple that monies, would you be interested?
Of course.
Yeah, here it is. Everybody come a little closer. It's this. Get friggin' healthy. Get friggin' healthy. It's the only way. The best way to decrease to make those monies last longer is to decrease the need for them. What is that? Get freaking healthier. Get freaking healthier. And all of us can be just a little bit healthier every single day. When you do that, you have opened up your whole future. You need less money. You need less money to live. I eat like a peasant, and so you can do this, and it's not as hard as we are taught, as we are told, as we are led to believe by the cascade of commercials on the nightly news either.
Well, Dr. Otto, this becoming healthier starts from within, and I think healthy body lives with a healthy mind. Absolutely. Or I should say, a healthy mind will create a healthy body. Now, for our minds, let's break it down. How is it that we're going to create a healthier mind? How is it that we can manifest that health in our mind and soul?
Awesome question. You know, there was a not even that long ago. It's even talked about today about a mind-body connection, which I got to tell you, I think is one of the stupidest things to talk about, because as if they were ever disconnected. It's like, no, they've always been connected. They're supposed to be connected. You know, that starts from the whole medical paradigm of each part in your body is not connected to another part of your body, which is just the most idiotic thing ever. So we have to start with, first of all, an idea that we can be healthy. We have to start with the premise. And the first question always is this: can you be sicker? And people say, of course I can be sicker. Of course I can. Can you be healthier? I guess so. Wait a minute. Why'd you put so much emotion and time into thinking, yes, I can be sicker, but you're like, I guess I could be healthier. There is a blueprint that you were born with. I was born with a different one, but you were born with a blueprint for health. We all were. Here it is. Here's that blueprint for health. It says, Kaveh, do this. Do these things, and you will rock. We have to start with that mind frame that everything you've ever needed to be your healthiest is packaged perfectly right there. Right there is packaged perfectly. We need to unlock that and unleash that. Your body always wants to be healthy. If you're a smoker and you quit smoking, the body, what's it do? It coughs that stuff up. Why? It's saying, get me back to that beautiful blueprint. Get me back there. Your body always wants to do this. Give it the opportunity. It's meant to be healthy. It's meant to be healthy. And that may change, that idea of health might be different for you than is me. And that's okay. But it's still meant to be healthy. You start right there.
Dr. Otto, for as long as you and I have been in practice, we come across the most difficult thing that we can prescribe for our patients are change in lifestyle, especially when it comes to food intake and stress. Let's tackle food intake. What is it that we should be eating lots of and not so much of the other stuff?
So here's a crazy thing. I'm going to take my phone right here. Here's my phone. And I do this for classes all the time. So I have a group, I have 100 students in front of me. This half, I'm going to say, okay, everybody take your phones out. Take your phones out. Hurry up. Let's go. Take your phones out. Right now, Google right now, the top 10 worst foods for you. The top 10 worst foods they're going to cause more inflammation. The top 10 foods which will promote cancer. Hurry up, get that. And I say, raise your hand when you're done. Okay, now this half, top 10 best foods for you. Top healthiest foods for you. Hurry up, top 10, hurry up. Raise your hands when you're done. Boom, all the hands go up. Kaveh, it doesn't take more than what, 10 seconds?
Yes.
15 seconds? Here it is. All the information you ever needed right here, right there. And so I start off with that. Which part of these foods, how many of these foods that you're not supposed to have, how many of those do you have on a regular basis? Okay, decrease them or eliminate them. Number 2 is all the great foods for you, increase them or eat only these. If I'm going to give a recommendation for anybody, I'm going to go recommend, and I'm not selling you anything. I'm a plant-based eater. I used to be eat a steak all the time kind of a guy. Eat bacon by the boatload. I'm a plant-based eater. Why is that? A couple of reasons. I had a talk with Dr. T. Colin Campbell. He spoke for my symposium in 2018, the Empire Longevity Symposium. And when you sit and talk with him, and he wrote an incredible book called The China Study. I highly recommend all of your listeners read The China Study. You come down to this. If there was a diet which could prevent and reverse cardiovascular disease, would you be interested in that?
Of course.
Yeah. It's called plant-based. And it's very, very simple. I eat like a peasant, I live like a king. I eat like a peasant, I live like a king. I eat like a peasant in that my foods are the stuff you see in the grocery store, the first part you go into. And I take them, I work them along with spices and herbs. Fantastic stuff. Simple to do. Very, very simple. We need to get in a regular basis of feeding rocket fuel to our bodies. If you aren't having regular bowel movements, which are easy, if if you got the classic signs of cardiovascular disease, the blood pressure and cholesterol, understand that those are not the diseases. Those are the symptoms of miscommunication in the body. You're not feeding your body the correct things. Work on the simplest things of eating this way, plant-based. You want to have your animal proteins, have them. But if my plate is like this, here's your animal proteins, the rest is plants. It will dramatically change your life. You're going to have more energy. Your spouse is going to be wondering why you are so ready for sex all the time. Oh, now you want to listen to me, don't you? Now you want to listen. You're going to have more energy. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have better bowel movements. I know those sounds like crazy things, but if you aren't doing those things easy, then your body has bigger problems. Plant-based, it's not even a choice anymore.
Wow. Dr. Otto, one thing that I had my a group that I was talking to this morning, actually. And one of the things I came across is people sabotage their own diet. They eat clean for a week, 2 weeks, and then 2 days they sabotage it.
Yep.
And they try to reward themselves. And in rewarding, you bring the habits back. Now, you and I both know sugar is the fundamental cause of lots of underlying inflammatory diseases, and some believe that it is cause of an autoimmune disease too.
Could be.
What has your research told you?
This is a simple thing. You know, it's funny when people want to. I have cheat days. I'm gonna work really hard for 6 days on this then I'm gonna have a cheat day. I don't understand cheat days. Why disrail 6 hard days with 1 day of whatever? I'm also be very straight for you. I have a personal relationship with tiramisu. I love tiramisu. Last time I was in Italy, 10 days, I had tiramisu 14 times. I am not kidding you. I love tiramisu so much so that I rarely have it anymore because I've had the best, so I rarely even have it anymore. When I go out to dinner, I may or may not have dessert. But here's the reality. If I want to have something, I have it. But I base all my food around this. I base it around this. It's plants, 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 plants. I've had to learn how to eat differently. I've had to learn how to cook differently. I've had to learn how to prep my foods differently. Okay, that's no problem. You know, once again, I'm gonna get on this magical machine and I'm gonna call up YouTube, and YouTube's gonna show me everything I've ever needed. All the information we ever needed is right there. And so we have people who want to do this, and the question always is, what's your outcome? What do you want to do? I want to lose weight. Okay, then what do you want to do? Do you want to lose weight today, or you want to lose weight for 1 year from now? What's your goal? What's your goal? And sometimes we have to ride that hard for a while until this becomes a lifestyle that they have. It's no longer an opportunity. It's no longer an opportunity to go back to the ways you think that you want things to be because of this. You can either take the time now, or the time will be taken from you in the future. Which one do you choose? You can either take the time now, which is going to be a little bits of minutes along the way, or the time will be taken from you and you're going to be forced to eat this way, which sucks in the future. Which one do you choose? Well, I want to do it my way right now. I want to be able to take the small steps right now. Awesome. We know how to do that. But having people who have 5 different medications, who can't eat this food, that food, that food, that food, that food, that food, because it interferes with the medication, is craziness. Absolute craziness. You know, the food interferes with the medications, but the medications interfere with a lot of things. But you have to stop eating the food, which is so idiotic. So idiotic. It's small changes over a regular time that makes the biggest changes. You can't do it all in 1 day, so you start with the smallest steps first.
I always say that we really are not changing anything. We are just going back to the way it was supposed to be. We had changed somewhere along the way without even us knowing. Was it advertising? Was it change of the habits? Was it change of, the whole, the way the society is? I don't know. Toss it to whatever you want, but we are going back to the way it was meant to be for our bodies.
We call it the blueprint of health. You were born with a blueprint. Let's go back to that. And right there it said, by the way, the eating might be a little different for you than it is for me. Okay, that's okay. And so right here, here's your blueprint. It says, do these things. And this is it. When you do this, you friggin' rock. You friggin' rock. You may want to choose to go off of the blueprint, which we all have done. I'm going to go off and do this because I want to. The blueprint says, I'm still here, dude. I'm still here. I'm still here. Get back to this. Get back to this. Sometimes we are forced to get back to it. Forced by having a surgery or 3, 4, 5 medications. The average American fills almost 13 prescriptions a year. That's man, woman, and child, every single person.
Wow.
13 a year. We see seniors in America who are the most medicated generation in our lifetime. Here's the crazy thing about them. The amount of antidepressants has doubled from like 91 to 2011. But that's not the crazy number. The crazy number is that in a study article from the New York Times recently, they showed that only 14.3% of those seniors actually fit the criteria for being depressed, even though they were given the antidepressants during that.
Wow.
It's like, wait a minute. Did anybody give them, I don't know, maybe better food? Did anybody get them up walking or running? No, they don't do any of those. Everything we've ever needed, Kaveh, everything we've ever needed is built perfectly right here. It's built perfectly right there. We start to unlock that. My friends, we have opened up your future.
Dr. Otto, the mind-boggling statistics that I read was over 40%, that's 40% of the children in the United States are taking some sort of antipsychotic medication, antidepressant, and the anxiety, and the list goes so on.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing? We are feeding our children.
It's beyond amazing. It's not even disturbing. It is scary.
It is.
Because you start asking the question, is how many of those medications were actually tested on children? And the answer is always none, but they're prescribed to them left and right. And for the vast majority of kids, the way it's prescribed is by weight. So if I'm a 200-pound male, they say, well, that child's 100 pounds, so give them half of the pill. While we don't know how that affects a pre-adolescent brain. Mm-hmm. It's as if, and that brain is growing, and the neuroplasticity, the learning, adapt, learn. Now you're going to take this pill and put it in there and change those things over there. We have no idea the long-term ramifications of that. I understand that the child may have a mental, emotional problem. Have we fed them rocket fuel? Have we fed them energy in the way that they move? We haven't done that yet. Have we found out how their nervous system is working? We have not. But the prescription of the medication should be the last journey on there, but it's not. In America, it's the first.
Medicine definitely does have a place in treating diseases, but
absolutely,
it should not be the first approach, especially with the kids. You and I both know, a new study came out that we have the unhealthiest gut in the populations of the world. North American have the unhealthiest gut in the world. Why is that?
Well, first of all, you Canadians are trying to learn too much from us. Stop doing that. That's it's amazing that we have. Well, first of all, we've gotten away from the simplicity of eating. We've gotten away from that. We've gotten away from the simplicity of motion. We've gotten away from those. One of the worst things you can do, America talks about our great exports. Our greatest export, quite frankly, is the American lifestyle, because people want the American lifestyle. But if you have the American lifestyle, then you got to die like an American. That's what you want. You want this, okay, but then you got to have this along with it, which is I want to live like an American. Then you got to die like an American. Dying like an American is stupid. It's just stupid. And what we're finding more and more often is that Americans are living longer, but they're dying younger. We're dying younger in that the time frame in which you are no longer functional is increasing. By the way, once again, we are 3 years in a row, our lifespan has decreased. 3 years in a row, our lifespan has decreased. If that is not just the greatest canary in the coal mine, if that's not the greatest sign, we should go like, boy, this is not working. This is not working. We need to change the way we think, the way we move, the way we eat, but we need to start with the whole idea that this can be better. And by the way, it should be.
Now, let's talk about empire longevity. What is it? And I know you guys have conferences for it. Give us a little showdown and about what it is and where it is and what you guys talk about.
Empire longevity is, we have to start with this. If I don't want to talk about you getting old. When I talk about you getting old, you automatically anticipate getting worse, because in America, we think you're going to get worse as you age. My answer to that, quite frankly, is what a crock of shit that is, because it's not the way the rest of the world is. If you read one of the greatest books, it's called The Blue Zones. You can read The Blue Zones. It talks about 9 communities around the world in which they anticipate that you'll be a viable participant in the community well into your 90s and 100s. We don't in America, but we need to change that. So first of all, we had to change the definition of longevity. The definition of longevity now in the Merriam-Webster online dictionary is someone's long life. And I've got to tell you, nothing bores me more than that definition alone. Here's someone's long life. That is boring. How uninspiring could it possibly be? It's terrible. So we had to change the definition of longevity. The definition of longevity is it's the act and intent of being so healthy by what you've done today that you leave something great behind. You're going to leave something great behind. And by the way, it may not be that you crack the code of DNA. It's not that. It may be that you touch the lives of someone in your community, or you taught one child to read, or you allowed some people to learn an instrument a little bit better. By the way, this almost all comes in the service of others. But what's your dent going to be in the world? Again, it doesn't have to. You don't have to be Steve Jobs and make one of these or something like that. But what if you were someone who showed a kid how to play a game or something? What's going to be your dent? But the baseline of it all is you got to be healthier to do it. You got to be healthier. I don't care how many millions of dollars you got if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it. I don't care how many millions you got if you're not healthy enough to allow other people to enjoy it. So we've had to change the parameters of that. And in that, we came up with a sphere. That sphere inside is you. And here's your education. Here's your health. Here's your emotion. Here's the food that you eat. Here's your faith. Here's your sex life. Here's your friendships. Here's your bowling team. And what do they all have in common? Well, you is what they have in common. And the interconnections of that wonderful web we call the nervous system. But how can we get this stuff to be better? Because if we start to work on these, we know that the dent you're going to make is going to have much more impact. And that's what we want to do. We want to change the way that you see your next best decades, because we have to start talking about this. We know what the future is if we don't. And the future is 3rd year in a row of our life expectancy going down. So our website will be up in a little bit. It's going to be empirelongevity.com. Nothing fancy about it. Our next symposium will be September 26th in Homer, New York, which is right down the road from me, in a beautiful old restored church, which holds 400 people. Our keynote speaker coming up then will be Dr. Michael Greger, who wrote an incredible book called How Not to Die. His new book is called How Not to Diet. I'd recommend you take a look at his stuff. It's fantastic. Kaveh, we have to change how people think about this. It's no longer, I'm going to get past 40 or 50 years of age and I'm going to decline. I got to tell you, man, I'm 57 and I'm just ramping up for the next couple of years, next couple of decades. And I don't want to make a dent. I want to change dramatically the way people anticipate their years are going to be.
To be honest with you, Dr. Otto, the fundamental reason why I started this podcast was to take this message of wellness in all aspects of it to the public and try to say that we are in the driver's seat. We are driving this vehicle called our body and our destiny.
Absolutely.
And we need to be knowledgeable about where we are going and what road we are taking.
Yes.
There's the easy way and then there's the hard way. The easy way is to do it like you said now, small incremental changes, get yourself healthier, fuel yourself with the fuels that it was meant to go into your body.
Yep.
And basically exercise, movement. I know you're a proponent for exercise, and I think you had a boxing instructor. Am I correct? Or at the gym?
But I have a trainer at the gym, and it was. I'll be straight with you. I think he makes stuff up as we go along. Because I'm also, by the way, I want you to stand up on this thing 1 foot and hold this. Are you making this stuff up? But you know, I think there's five aspects of physical health. And the one is strength. You have to have strength. You have to be able to pick yourself up off the floor, lift things up, take this cap off the peanut butter jar. You got to be able to do that. Number two is you got to be stamina. The number of people, Kaveh, who can't walk from there to there is astounding. Stamina. 3 is flexibility. 4 is balance. And 5 is posture. You know, we used to get all of this when we were kids running on the jungle gym and the monkey bars and slides and the swings. We got all that stuff. We don't do any of that. And we don't do any of that. But we have to get back to that. And when it comes down to balance, we check vestibular balance in our office on a regular basis for all our new practice members. We see if your body can know where itself is in space. And it's idiotic for women over the age of 50 to be given calcium supplements in the hopes that when they do fall, they don't break their hips. My question is, how about we don't get them to fall? How about that? And people look at me like, well, that would be a great idea. Let's do that first. Because if their balance is incorrect, that means their nervous system, there's a miscommunication there. There's a miscommunication. There's other things that aren't working well. We start with that basis and we can rock and roll with this, man.
Well, I do CrossFit and I do about 6 days out of a week. And I tell you, it is painful, but the rewards are unbelievable. Do I enjoy it? No, but I reap the benefits and I put the benefits and stack them up so high, I just can't ignore going to it.
Right.
So, Dr. Janke, I am grateful for the time that you devoted to this program. Our viewers, this is Dr. Otto Janke. We are grateful to have you. Hopefully, we will have you come back on sometime again. Your content that you put on, everybody, you can Google Dr. Otto Janke on Facebook. You do put out some amazing content, which I'm grateful for. Thank you again, sir.
It's my pleasure, man. And anytime you want to come down in September, let me know. It's going to be a great gig.
Thank you so very much. Have a great day.
Ciao, man.
Bye.